We're back with another episode of Mommy Wines with your favorite wine mom, Emma Dawn. Tune in while she shares her motherhood experiences, introduces you to motivational and empowering special guests, and sips away your sins. In the Mommy Wines Confessional, mom life can sometimes get lonely and overwhelming, so she created this relatable, inclusive, and supportive space for us to be ourselves. Let loose, enjoy a glass of wine, and laugh. Get ready for today's episode. Here's Emma.
Have you been considering starting your own podcast? If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Well, first, it's completely free. Hello, great price point. Nothing, which is great. There are tons of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, making podcasting portable and super easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major places podcasts can be found, getting your show out there and heard. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Anchor pairs you with sponsors instantly and gives your show a support button for your loyal listeners to show their appreciation. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I trust Anchor with both of my podcasts, Mommy Wines and Tales After Dark. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started, and don't forget to join the MW Podcast Network. Welcome back, Wine Moms, to another episode of Mommy Wines Podcast. Thank you for listening to this MW Network and Emma Dawn production. Now available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and wherever else you get your favorite podcasts. Do you love supporting the show? Shop all the MWP branded merchandise on themommywines.com or click the support link in the show notes below. This week's show is brought to you by our sponsors, Anchor, my podcast platform, and in my entirely biased opinion, the best way to record, edit, and upload your podcast all in one place. One Hope. One Hope wines are thoughtfully created by the most acclaimed winemakers, rooted with purpose, right in the heart of Napa Valley, California. One Hope puts your wine to work by donating over $5 million and counting to causes all around the world. Shop One Hope today and feel good with each sip at onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Zaya Active. Need premium quality active and loungewear but hate the price tag on top designer and retail brands? Shop myzaya.com/EmmaDawn for men's, women's, and youth styles today. New Zaya Active items are released every Wednesday along with new episodes of the Mommy Wines podcast, so make sure you're following along on IG for new items showcased every week in my stories. The Fetching Barker. The Fetching Barker is mine and Milo's online, eco-friendly, naturally focused dog supply shop with everything you need from fetching accessories to daily doggy essentials. Shop thefetchingbarker.com and use code Zeppelin15 to save at checkout. EDJ Consulting Group. If you didn't know, podcasting isn't my full-time gig just yet. By day, I am a business financial consultant specializing in small to medium-sized business bookkeeping, tax prep, and payroll. This is what has allowed me to not have to choose between my son or a job. If you're interested in learning how you can become a home bookkeeper, check out my Home Bookkeeper Masterclass. You can find more info at edjconsultinggroup.com. Now let's get into the episode. Hi, Wine Moms, and welcome back to another episode of the Mommy Wines Podcast. I am your host, as always, Emma Dawn, and today I am shared by two gal pals, Courtney and Callie, who are both as obsessed with skincare as I am. Now, Courtney is actually in the medical field, so she shares not only her love for skincare, but also the medical sciences behind it and what makes good skincare work for you. Go ahead and stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode.
We can talk about that.
Oh, hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Good. Oh, hi. Awesome.
Yay, sorry we were a couple minutes late. We were trying to get the computer to do it so that we didn't have to do it on the phone, but are you able to hear us okay?
Yeah, you guys sound great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, you sound really clear
It's
too.
really good sound.
Awesome. I am so thankful for that because on Friday there was a storm here where I'm at in northern Nevada, and it was hailing and snow and rain, and all of my recordings just sounded like robots.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah,
But
well,
I don't
background
think
now.
I've ever had anybody use the computer. And I have a podcast mic because I used to do in-person recordings. And when you're like, oh, we're going to log in on the computer, I was like, wait, can I do that too? It might
I don't know.
boost up my audio.
Yeah, it didn't work for us, not because of Anchor, but because of the MacBook was
Because of
malfunctioning.
Faulty hardware.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it and see, because I've been just recording everything from my phone, and I'm like, I have this podcast mic. I want to start using it again. Because due to COVID, all of our recordings have gone remote, which is nice because I get to talk to people like you who I wouldn't be able to talk to before.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're excited too.
But I know all the other podcasts I listen to, they're all going through the same thing I'm going through, trying to figure out Zoom or different recording, and sometimes they sound a little sketchy too. So I'm like, okay, well, everyone's struggling. That's fine. It's just 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. Just 2020.
Over here at Mommy Wines, we love wine, and there's absolutely nothing better than cheersing your way through the holidays. One Hope is an affordable boutique wine company coming to you directly from Napa Valley, California, that gives back by supporting nonprofits. They have a bubbly brut sparkling wine that supports end childhood hunger. 1 in 5 children do not know where their next meal is coming from, but thanks to the charitable wine lovers like yourself, One Hope has been able to provide over 2,758,428 meals to help feed hungry children. Or there's my new favorite, a red, believe it or not, a Pinot Noir that has helped over 65,267 and counting pets find forever homes. This season, give the gift of One Hope wine and feel good that by shopping One Hope, you're helping the world become a better place. Being charitable this holiday season has never been easier with One Hope's gift boxes. Make sure to check out onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Once again, that's onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Also, the link is in the show notes below.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to see what next year is going to be. Because
I keep wondering if people just think that at midnight everything's going to get better, because we all keep saying 2020, 2020, but I think it might still be bad for a little bit in 2021.
most likely, but I'm going to sit over here with my fingers crossed and just hope, that New Year's Eve, stroke of midnight, everything,
It'll be like the Y2K that we never had, only in a good way.
Right. Hopefully. Definitely want to hear more about the two of you, because I have not had multiple guests in so long because we're not doing in-person recordings anymore. So I'm super excited to hear both of your thoughts because we were chatting back and forth. You both are so passionate about skincare. And that is something that I focus on more than makeup. I would rather have like just a tub full of skincare products than I would a pool of makeup. So what kind of got you into that? Because Courtnay, I know you're a nurse.
So we have, and that's kind of what I was hoping that you would want to talk about a little bit, is just kind of like, you know, skincare journey. I'm 33. I think you're 30, right?
I'm 31, so we're all 31. Pretty similar.
Yeah, basically similar.
So, but, you know, and I didn't really use skincare for like many, many, many years. I didn't wear sunscreen, and
she slept with her makeup on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a sin.
I know. I just I didn't know what I was missing, first of all. And so, you know, I think as we enter our 30s, we all just kind of start to have these moments that we're like, oh, this is why I should have been doing this. Or I understand. I'm starting to see fine lines that I didn't see before. And, we just start to, I think, look at our skin a little bit differently, which I think is really normal. You know, my nursing background tells me that we start to lose a lot of like collagen, elasticity, like that kind of thing as we get older. And so that's why we start noticing things like that. But anyway, I just didn't really know what I was missing. I didn't know what kind of damage I was doing. I didn't really do anything for my skin and slept in my makeup. And Callie has kind of the opposite experience. You can talk.
I do, kind of. I have always been a fan of like anything that you would keep in your bathroom. I want it. And so I always joke about how easy it is to give me gifts, because I love skincare, I love bath bombs, I love hair conditioner, like anything, and makeup. And so I quickly found that when you're experimenting with makeup, when you're trying to have fun with it, like you can only cover up so much, you know. Right. And like, so I had to kind of learn on my own. And like Courtnay was saying, like getting older, it's just things that you don't consider until they're right there in your face. But I'm so with you now. Like I would much rather have a tub full of skincare than I would like a tub full of makeup. Both would be nice. But it just makes such a difference. You know, I guess I always just thought that makeup was kind of magic, and it's not, you know. Sure, like on camera it can be, but it's just really important to have healthy skin, and it's obvious when you don't.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't think I noticed like in my 20s. My mom always used to say, like, at the end of the day, like washing her face and brushing her teeth at the end of the day was like her favorite thing. And I just could not relate, but I get it now. Like it just feels so good to like, I don't know. And honestly, I think it just comes with age. Like, I don't think you can care about it before you actually care about it.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely look forward to washing my face now, taking off my makeup.
For sure now.
Doing my whole routine. We were out really late last night. My fiance is a professional musician, and so I go with him to a lot of things. And yesterday he had a gig during the day, and then he had a private party that he was playing in the evening. And so I went with him to both and like was driving. And so I got ready at like, I don't know, probably 10 a.m. and put my makeup on, and then reapplied all of my makeup before the party in the evening. And so like by the time we got home at 1 a.m, I was just like, oh my God, I just want to wash my face. I can't wait to take it all off, to do all of my layers, and just to like undo what I have done. Yes. Oh, it feels so good. And I just like, I absolutely feel like freedom. Like my skin is just like so happy. So, and I also, there are a lot of days, and I post about this kind of frequently. I mean, I would almost rather not put makeup on because my skin looks so great. And I never, ever had anything close to that. I mean, it was not even an option. I didn't leave the house without makeup on for decades. So that's a big change.
See, I've always had, my makeup is, I use all Burt's Bees just because, first of all, it's super easy and I love all their products. It's just convenient for me because I know they're kind of like clean based. But I have a mascara, an eyeliner pencil that I've had probably way too long and I need to get rid of. One eyeshadow palette, the what is it? The BB or CC cream that has the SPF, because I unfortunately got my father's skin tone. So me and my son are basically like transparent. So sunscreen, we go through a lot of sunscreen all year round in our house. And that's one thing I never thought of until I started, because I never used foundation. I can say that I've never ever had foundation on my face. But I started using the CC cream when I got older because it got, like, I started to get some like blotchiness after having my son. I noticed that there were some skin changes, and pregnancy will just screw you up forever, no matter what anybody says. It's like my vision went horrible and my skin changed, and my son is 4 now and I'm still kind of like dealing with these changes. So I started using the CC cream because it has the SPF in it, and then I just have like a tinted lip balm and that's it. And I used to have a co-host, and she was like a beauty guru. She owned a like permanent cosmetics academy and salon, and she had all of the stuff, all of the peels and all of the needles and all of the microblading and all of the stuff all of the time. She was super into like the cosmetic side. But I would notice, I asked her one time, because we would hang out obviously all the time. And I'm like, did you sleep with your makeup on? Cause it's like 10 a.m. and we're drinking coffee. And I think you slept with your makeup on. And she's like, oh yeah, I always do. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you have all of this, you know, cosmetic stuff and you're into all of this stuff. But I'm like, you know, there's no amount of cosmetics that are going to cover up bad skin. Right. I'm like, you kind of have to like you said, like kind of really put it into your routine. But yeah, I have like a shelf, like the windowsill in my bathroom is just skincare. And then I have like 5 items in my makeup bag.
I just walked into her bathroom. I'm over at Callie's house, and I just walked into her bathroom and was like, oh, look at all this skincare, like all different types, all different things for all different like problems, you know?
Yeah. And as women, like our skin, you know, goes through cycles, because I feel like, and I wanted to ask you guys this to see your professional skincare opinion. Because I recently changed my diet. I'm going back to being gluten-free just for some anxiety reasons, and who knows, it's probably healthier. I have no idea, but being gluten-free for me really helps with like my anxiety. So I have Thrive Market now, and due to COVID, I have a feeling that everything is going to start shutting down again, because it kind of has already had. Like I know like Nashville schools are closing, Salt Lake County schools are closing. That's just like where like some of my friends are all scattered and they're keeping me updated. So I'm like, okay, it kind of looks like we're easing back into quarantine. So I'm like, I'm just going to make it easy on myself and do Thrive Market because I can shop by diet. But they kind of give you like points, or they'll like, you know, give you a freebie every, like pretty much every order I've placed. They've always recommended like a free product for me to try. And I always pick the skincare ones. But because I'm like, ooh, I want to try it. Like, who knows? I might fall in love with it. But what do you guys feel about mixing and matching, trying new products? Or do you like kind of a curated one-stop shop, like stick with a routine?
I mean, I think we're probably both on the exact same page for this, but possibly for different reasons. So being a nurse, like I kind of look at the science background. So I know that things react differently with one another. And there is no way for any of us to look in the ingredients of one product and know how that is going to react with the ingredients of another product. So I actually just had a new follower on Instagram message me not too long ago. And she said, I've been getting these bumps on my forehead. What do you think it is? What do you think I should do? And I said, well, can you tell me what your routine is right now? And she listed probably 15 different items and probably all different brands and like this whole routine in the morning and this whole routine in the evening. And like, I know chemicals and like, I know, and I mean chemicals that are good for our face. Acids are good for our face, things like that. And I just know that they can react differently. And so I use pretty exclusively Rodan & Fields, and their philosophy is multi-med therapy, which means one step, step 1 reacts with step 2, which reacts with step 3, which reacts with step 4. And so for me, that makes perfect sense in my brain. I know that step 3 is formulated to work with step 2 and after step 1, that to my scientific brain, that kind of makes sense. And
I can see how for a nurse that would be
right.
That would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get this. This makes sense to me.
Yeah. So, and probably, the other thing that I was thinking is, if you have two products that aren't meant to go together, you're just more likely to have irritation, and it may not be like an allergic reaction, but if you don't really know what you're doing, like a lot of products in general, and Rodan & Fields included, they have active ingredients. That's what makes them work. And so I think that as a culture, we tend to just do skincare, here's some free skincare, try it. And so I just think that having, being intentional about what you're putting on your face is important. And sometimes people forget that. So I think you probably would agree, right?
Yes, absolutely. And even more so, like, I know that for me, because I love skincare and I just love all of the things so much, I've been through so much of it. And, if you use, different brands of products together, like, is it going to like blow up your face? Probably not. But is it going to give you the results that you're looking for? Also probably not, and like, I'm in a place right now, a lot of people, we're in our 30s, we're getting to the place where like we've made some poor choices in life. that have
not just in skincare.
Save it for the confessions.
And, our skin is suffering. And so at this juncture, I need something that is going to change my skin. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to buy it at the grocery store. It just doesn't. Right. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get to mix and match. And like Courtnay said, like, I'm not a scientist. Like it's not my job to formulate these things. It's just my job to use them. And like, you're just really kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you're not following through the way. It's like a recipe. If you use the wrong ingredients in a recipe, you're not going to get the right cake. So
yeah. Are you a pet owner like us? Or maybe you're soon to be adding a 4-legged friend to your family this holiday season. Milo insisted on getting a dog, and once I saw Zeppelin, a chocolate golden doodle, at an animal shelter, I knew she was the one for us. They instantly became best friends,
And that's what inspired me to launch our canine supply shop, The Fetching Barker. The Fetching Barker has everything you need, from puppy essentials to all your I have to have this items that you can't just not add to your cart. We have a strong focus on eco-friendly and natural products, along with a wide range of trusted hemp and CBD treats, toys, salves, oils, and so much more. Visit thefetchingbarker.com today, and remember that a portion of all proceeds go to support global conservation efforts to protect the planet our pets love. That's thefetchingbarker.com. And feel free to go ahead and follow on Instagram at fetchingbarker.
Well, and also I think that sometimes, like I had used maybe like a charcoal mask or something. Say I bought a charcoal mask and I used it one time, and like, what is that doing for me?
Right.
You know, I had these really high expectations of like, let me try this one product one time.
For 5 minutes for $5.99.
Once a month for, you know, for one time this year. Like I just didn't really, I expected a lot, but I wasn't really willing to do like the maintenance of it, I guess. So
yeah, and it does make sense, you know, having a collection that is designed to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Even with my Burt's Bees obsession,
Mm-hmm.
I use their skincare, and they've been making some changes. The thing is like I'm still hunting, because what used to work for me in high school
Mm-hmm.
is not working for me in my 20s. And what worked for me in my 20s is now not working, you know, for me after I had my son. And then after I had my son, what worked is now not working for me in my 30s. And I think skincare is something that really, you know, like I remember my grandma would use the Clinique line.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And she had it all laid out.
Everybody's
Like,
grandma did.
like everybody's grandma. And she always had it laid out in her bathroom cabinet, and it was like perfectly set up. And I remember she would go in at night, and she never really did a makeup. She was an Avon lady, of course. She's a grandma. But so she would have like the lipsticks, and she would have some of like, she would do like a little mascara, but she was never really big into makeup besides lipstick. But I remember being a little girl, and she would go into the bathroom, and she would open the cabinet, and she would get all of her steps. And it's funny because Milo now does this with me, and I'm like, okay, if this kid does not grow up to be gay, it's going to be a miracle. Because I'm like, I'm hoping, you know, I'm just like, oh, that would be nice. Then he's not going to like grow up and marry some, you know, trollop. But I remember being a little girl and watching her do all of her steps, and she just did everything with such intention.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like sometimes like she would, you know, squirt a little bit of moisturizer in my hand, and I would follow along.
Wow. That's a cute memory.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like these curated lines, even sometimes, like, I know there's some like dermatologists and stuff that you can actually like, they'll customize a collection for you. But the idea of having a system, a skincare system that you use like with coordinated products,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a new thing. And it definitely makes sense.
Yeah. And I think, you know, you really hit the nail on the head. Like our skin changes, you know, like it's so funny to hear you say like that your skin changed after pregnancy. Like our hormones, again, I mean, I just keep going back to my like, you know, anatomy and physiology from school. It's like our hormones affect everything, and our skin is one of those things. Our skin is our largest organ. And so hearing you say that your skin changed after pregnancy is not surprising. You know, a lot of women, one of my friends just called me recently, and she had started on one regimen called Recharge before she got pregnant, and she was really enjoying it. Things were going really well. Well, now she's 6 months pregnant, and she's like, has awful acne. Like,
Yeah.
she never had acne in her life before, Jessica. And she said, yeah. And she's like just breaking out. So she's like, now I need something for acne. So now she's like using a different acne line. And a lot of women get something called melasma during pregnancy, which is like dark patches. And again, it's all hormone related. It's amazing what our bodies go through. And so like basically like skincare is a journey. I mean, it really is. Like throughout our life, it definitely changes. And so there's different things, adding in different things that are appropriate at different times is really important. And just kind of like watching it. And I think actually being, like you said, intentional about it, making a decision to try something or add something as needed. So
definitely. And now I feel like Corona is probably the best time to, if somebody's out there listening who doesn't, have a skincare routine currently, maybe they're like, oh, I'm always busy or I'm always in a rush. Or, like as moms, like I barely ever kind of like think about myself,
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, I got to brush Milo's teeth and I got to get him showered and I have to get him, to bed or fed or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's by the end of the night, I'm like, I'm so tired. Like, I'll just like throw some soap and some water on my face and hit the hay. But I feel like because of the pandemic, everything is just slowed down.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, are reflecting inwards and, it's shifted a lot of our focus. I just spoke to a woman who does emotional development, and in a lot of her work that she does with children, she uses essential oils. And everyone is just, like she was saying, everyone is just putting in so much like inward focus.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of concentrating on like the important things nowadays, which that's such a silver lining to this whole craziness.
Absolutely.
But I feel like if anybody hasn't had the time or they think they were too busy before, like it is such a good time right now to try to do a little bit of something for yourself.
The holidays are fast approaching, and you know what that means? That's right, it's gifting season. Luckily, Zaya Active has everything you're looking for when it comes to premium, affordable, active, and loungewear for the whole family. Head over to myzaya.com/EmmaDawn to start checking off your Christmas list from the comforts of home. With the extremely popular women's leggings to the stunning men's collection and ever-growing youth styles, you're bound to find something for everyone. Once again, that's myzaya.com/EmmaDawn.
And hopefully that's skincare, because there's like nothing better than I feel like washing my face. I do it twice because I listen to Caitlin Bristow's podcast Off the Vine, and she is obsessed with skincare. However, it works for her because she looks gorgeous. But she has this, who is it? I think it's like Raw Beauty Talk. She's like a skincare dermatologist person, I think. But she's had her on her show a bunch because they're friends in real life. And she said, and I take this like Off the Vine is like a gospel. Okay. I don't know if you listen to Off the Vine podcast, but if you don't, you should.
I've heard of it.
I'm Googling it right now.
It's Caitlin Bristow. She was on The Bachelor, and then she became The Bachelorette. And she was with that farmer. I don't know if you guys were watching The Bachelor, but the first Bachelor I ever watched was the season that came out when my son was a baby, and I was at home, and I'm like, you know what? I need something. Like, I need a routine because I'm a routine person. I'm like, I'm going to start watching The Bachelor. And, everyone's been talking about it for years and years. And it was this like Farmer John from Idaho or something, or Iowa. And
I feel like this sounds familiar, but I just can't remember.
It was so random. But she came out of the limo and they kind of got briefed on like who the bachelor was, I guess. So she came out of the limo, and her like opening phrase as she's like going up to meet him for the first time is, oh, I heard you're a farmer. I would let you plow my field. And I was like, this woman is for me. Like anybody who is just, she's just like, so, I don't know, confident, and she's just balls to the wall. She's crazy. But I listen to her podcast now, and she's super into skincare. And the woman that she regularly has on says that you need to, there's my dog, if you just heard that weird noise. It's not a ghost. Says that you have to wash your face twice. You have to do a routine at night, and then, you know, when you're sleeping, all of the germs and everything from sleeping through the night and being on your pillow, you need to rinse that off and start fresh, and it helps you if you apply makeup every day. And when she said that, I was like, okay, it's the truth. I'm going to start washing my face once in the morning and once at night.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, and ever since then, I have no idea. I'm so susceptible to like, okay, that makes sense to me. That's what I'm doing. And then I do it for the rest of my life. And it becomes like a thing. I'm like, she said it. It makes sense. That's totally the truth.
Well, and then you do things like try it and love it. And you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And so you get your own experience and your own results from it. Right. So, I mean, I now wash my face twice a day. And I mean, I wash, tone, use a hyaluronic acid and glycerin serum I do both of those twice a day. And then I do an AM cream or a PM cream and an eye cream every day. And I mean, this is coming from somebody who didn't use any skincare for the majority of my adult life. So it's just that, like, once you do it and you love it, I don't want to not do it anymore.
Right. I even noticed I have psoriasis and eczema. So, and I know everybody, especially a nurse, is probably going to yell at me, but like I can just not do a mask, like the COVID face masks, because it makes me so anxious. I start to like panic for some reason. And my whole entire family, keep this in mind, is medicine. And I went to school for finance. And I'm like sitting here through the pandemic, like having to put a mask on to go to like Target and stuff. And I'm like, I am so glad I am the black sheep of my family. And I did not go to school for medicine, because I would die if I had to wear a mask every single day. I'm like, you know what? I'll just sit at home and drink some wine and watch Grey's Anatomy, and that's as close to medicine as I ever want to be. Yeah. But I've noticed since I started washing my face in the morning, I would get like what I thought was psoriasis breakouts kind of around my mouth and like my nose area. But what I think of it now is probably going to be gross. This could even be my confession. Is I probably drool in my sleep, and sleeping on that. And I'm like a face sleeper. I like am surprised I haven't suffocated. I don't know how I'm waking up every day to a new day, you know, like I literally like lay on my stomach and I just like, it's like I should be sleeping on a massage bed because I don't know how I'm breathing, but it's a disaster. And I wake up and there's all these pillow lines on my face. But what I think is what was happening was that's like a sensitive area for my skin, and not washing my face in the morning was like causing it to break out in these like what look like psoriasis style patches. And I try to only wear my face mask, 2020 face mask, not like a skincare fun mask, but like when I have to, because like it'll also break out right there. And I'm just like, it is so sensitive.
Yeah. I mean, maskne is like real.
I'm surprised that is not a trending hashtag yet.
I think it is. I think the
it
has started the maskne trend.
Yeah,
because it's just so catchy.
I did post something with maskne, and it also had something about COVID-19. And so when I posted it, Instagram put like a disclaimer on my post. Like, this is referring to something about, I mean, it didn't have anything to do with COVID, but
your hashtags, right? Were like,
yeah, cut it off.
They were all over it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's been a really good time to be in the skincare business. I mean, like you said earlier, people are finally taking the time to do theirs. I think there was even a meme actually that I saw that was like, when we first went into lockdown, it said like, okay, I finally have time to try your 27 item skincare routine. Which is true.
I've already cleaned out my closet. I literally am looking at a stack of books that I have taken out of my bookshelf that I need to go donate. It's like the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's really kind of been a cool part of COVID. Like, kind of like you were saying earlier, there are some values that I have developed that I hope that I continue to have, you know, after things get back to normal. Mainly concerning like who I spend my time with, and like, you know, it's valuable, and it's just, it took me being alone all of the time to notice that, or to like recognize that, appreciate it. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
recognize like how much time potentially can be wasted if you're not being intentional about how you spend it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing is that, I think because we were all home for so long, none of us wore makeup.
Oh yeah.
And so all of us saw our skin, you know? And so it was like, yeah. And so people that were used to like getting up, putting on a full face and being like, okay, I look great, and going to work all day. They're at home, they don't have any makeup on, and they're like, "Ooh, God, where did that come from?"
Who is that girl?
Yes, exactly. So it's been a good time to be in skincare, and it's been really fun to help a lot of people who have come to us and kind of said like, "Hey, I need some help in this area, and what do you recommend?" And you know, I want to treat myself. We're not spending as much money on other things. And so people are just spending their money differently. They're spending their time differently. Things have just shifted a lot for my life, at least. And I think,
I think it's going to be a positive shift, because for a minute there, I feel like social media was getting a little bit out of control. And now people are doing more like social media detoxes. They're being, you know, more positive in what they post, and just more intentional with, like you said, how they spend their time and what they choose to focus their time on. So hopefully it's just going to breed more positivity and less internet trolls. But the poor makeup industry, I do feel like there is a shift. And I think people are buying more skincare when before they were buying more makeup. But who knows?
Study. I would like to do that research and see what we come up with.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people can't wear makeup. Like, I know nurses can't. You're encouraged not to wear makeup when you're at work, because then your N95 doesn't fit. You're like the real mask, like the one that really protects everybody, like. It's called an N95, and it's like it actually blocks particles, and it doesn't fit right if you have anything that has like petroleum or oils or certain. So they kind of say like, please don't, wear makeup.
That makes sense. Like it kind of like suction to your skin. Maybe not suction, but like connects.
To put it, but yeah, essentially.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
It is, and it is like the testing that they do to make sure that the N95 fits is they put a hood over your head, they put the N95 mask on you, and then they spray saccharin. It's like saccharin, which is like a sugar in water, and they spray it into the hood. And if you can taste the sweetness, then your mask doesn't fit correctly.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So that's how they know. And so like people, if you're a nurse, if you're a male nurse and you work on a unit that, I mean, COVID, I would assume, but other like tuberculosis and things like that, if you work on a unit that would have those type of patients, you're not supposed to have facial hair, because the facial hair will stop the mask from, stop you. You could be exposed to a life-threatening disease.
Wow.
So, yeah. So anyway, I definitely.
Lucky for me, it's just a mustache.
Just a little peach fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm just so glad I never went into medicine.
Yeah, I know.
But more power to the people that do. Like,
Yeah.
I feel one of the benefits during the pandemic is there's been more appreciation towards like educators and like healthcare workers, because they are kind of like, people think of front lines, they think of military or policemen, but now it's like, first responders, nurses, doctors, hospital workers.
Yeah.
And then, everyone with Zoom online virtual schooling, everyone's like, wow, teachers are where it's at.
Totally.
There's definitely more appreciation going out in the world due to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so what would you have to say about people being concerned about like MLM products? Because I never really thought anything of network marketing products until I had the CEO on the podcast who does Zaya Activewear. And now I'm like hooked. I'm like, okay, I use my discount. I don't really sell it. There is a commercial in the show. If you guys, anybody listening wants to check it out. But basically I just use the discount for myself. And I was like, everybody was talking, I've always heard mixed, reviews and mixed feelings about products that are from a network marketing company. And Roden & Fields is a network marketing company, but what makes like their products different?
So this is like one of my biggest pet peeves. So I'll go ahead and take this one. One of
Spill the tea.
Right, is that Roden & Fields didn't start as network marketing. They were voted the #1 skincare line in North America when they were at Nordstrom. So,
okay.
So they branched out to do network marketing, probably because it's been lucrative for other businesses, and it gives people the opportunity to kind of take control of their own future, and so that means something to me. Also, our products are clinical trials for all of the skincare regimens, and the creators are literal doctors. So there's a lot of legitimacy with our products. Another pet peeve of mine is I hate the term boss babe. I hate
Yes.
I think that's mostly because I think one of the reasons that MLMs have a bad reputation is because many of them will say, many independent consultants for whatever company will say, sit at home all day and make 6 figures. And that's just not realistic, and obviously as an independent consultant, I can say whatever I want. But because people are encouraging people to sign up as consultants, it kind of goes in that direction. And so I like to just make very clear to anybody who approaches me that is considering becoming a consultant, like, you are going to get out of it what you put into it, 100%. And if you're sitting at home on the couch not doing anything, you're not going to make any money. And and if you want to be a consultant for the discount, then so be it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think and Courtnay said this a while back, that and I was such a hater, by the way. I was such a hater. Courtnay has done some other, like, she's kind of like, she is a consumer for sure.
Yeah.
And so she's done some other multi-level marketing. And like, because I'm so close to her, I'm just always involved, right? And like, I loathe that Facebook message from that girl you haven't seen since high school that says, hey girl, you know, and like approaches you in that way.
Oh my God. I deleted Facebook because of that.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
It's so bad.
I was very like, almost like hateful about it because it was just so annoying. I think it was because it's like they're like pretending to be my friend, or like, I don't know what kind of thing what kind of chord it struck in me, but I was like, absolutely not. And I tried the products, and I believe in the products, and that has made like a world of difference to me. Mm-hmm. In you know, the work that we do. And then I forgot what else I was going to say. Because we are so quick to like tear each other down for, you know, joining any kind of company that has network marketing. And that's not like, why, like, how did that happen? Why can't we build each other up, you know, instead of, I don't know, there was a meme I think that you saw that put it a lot better than the way I'm putting it, as far as like, why are we hating on a woman who's trying to better her life? Why are we hating on a woman who's trying to, you know, supplement her income for her kids or whatever, you know, like, how did this happen? You know?
So, I think the whole thing started like you mentioned, with just the annoying fake messages. And like, the thing that always got me, because I have a private financial practice. It's a business that I've operated, you know, for years. And when I think about how I market my business compared to how a lot of people are even encouraged to market their network marketing business, I would never reach out to random people on the internet that I've never spoken to and be like, hey, do you need a bookkeeper? We're like the best in the biz, and I'm going to give you 3 free hours of bookkeeping service, you know, if you try my company. And I'm like, I've never done that. Not once. But
concept.
Yes. But when it comes to network marketing, everyone thinks that is like how to do it. And I think there's a lot of people who don't have the success, and they kind of get a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to having a network marketing business, is because they're encouraged to do these like cold social media messages, and it just doesn't work. Maybe it did in the beginning, but people are like human beings are adaptive creatures. Like we're past your bull crap now. Like, and I noticed, I saw, because I have a master class of my own, like Instagram kind of markets things to me, which is really creepy, but like I'll scroll through and they'll have like curated, like sponsored posts. And one of them is this woman who created this new way to like make your network marketing business a legitimate business for you. And she started out like years ago, and she said like the same thing. She's like, yeah, you know, like they are encouraged to cold message, and they are, and you know, that did work maybe 10 years ago or, you know, 5 years ago, but that's not the way it's working anymore. And I think that's like one of the things that just puts like a bad taste in my mouth. Like I went to the extreme of not having a Facebook anymore.
Extreme.
Because I'm like, I can't have my phone blowing up 500 times a day with messages from people I have no idea who they are, trying to sell me something that I don't even know if I want.
Well, and I think there's a big difference in culture, and that's like, I had a girl who was trying to sell me something, and I did end up buying it. It was a different brand. It wasn't Zaya, but it was a different brand. But she was just kind of incessant, you know, and I I have been really successful with Rodan and Fields, and I haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
I
Like
just
beg people.
no, I'm like, yes, I post about my business. I also post about my life, and I also comment on other people's posts and I in their life, and I don't have to fake that. And I think that, as far as like when I started, I was like, and I think I told you this, Callie, I am very adamant about not making cold calls to the friends from high school.
Yeah.
I have had
It's just icky.
dozens of them reach out to me, and that is the way that my business operates, because
It's so much easier.
it is real, and it's like, yeah, I'm approachable and I'm posting about something that I really believe in. If I, like, for example, one of my friends was posting about getting her taxes down on her house and how she did this, basically like, I can't remember what it's called. Appealed the tax appraisal. Yeah. And so anyway, she posts about it. She was really passionate about it. I messaged her to have her help me with it on my house. And that is exactly the way that my Rodan and Fields business has worked. I post about something that I'm passionate about. Someone else who feels that they might benefit from it reaches out to me, and I help them get that. And in the process, I am compensated for that.
Yeah. Kind of
So-
like working smarter, not harder.
Yeah. I mean, and it's
Like attraction, not promotion.
yes.
Yeah.
And I just really, I don't know. I am pretty, like, that's what I believe in. And I think that's what the people that I've helped start their businesses, that's what, like, the people that I have brought in, like Callie mentioned, the kind of false promises. And that's another thing that I just like, I know people get high hopes and then it doesn't work for them, and then they're crushed and they get have a bad experience. And I want people to have a real experience. And that means that some months are going to be not quite as good and some months are going to be great. And every product isn't going to work for every person. But you're going to be able to help a lot of people. And that's like been my experience. And so I can only share my experience and hope that they have a good one too. I really try hard not to do any kind of like pushy, promise the world. I think, what's the saying? Under promise and over deliver.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily
for you guys, skincare is a totally consumable product. So you're going to have your returning customers once their routine is empty.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have a lot of, I mean, I'd say probably 80% of my 75% of my customer base are return customers that order every 2 months or so, 3 months. Of course, there's lots of people who, and Lash Boost is one of the things that we sell, which is a lash serum. And so that one is
It sells itself.
It sells itself, but also
I was going to ask you guys about that.
Oh man, especially because masks, man. The lash and brow serums that we have been like
hotcakes.
Hotcakes?
Hotcakes, because people are like, all you see is my eyes.
Right.
Like, wearing a mask all day, and so like you're forced to notice your brows that are looking a little scraggly, or you know, your lashes that are non-existent.
Yeah.
So for me, I am just somebody who's really into clean products. Like, I really like to be like toxic free, obviously, especially when it comes to my skincare, because I don't want anything like around my eyes or going into my skin that's kind of like questionable or dangerous.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to do more things where I'm kind of putting myself out there. I'm doing more lives. I'm taking more selfies, which is something that, like, because after I had my son, like, my body changed, and My weight has fluctuated. And I feel like it didn't really hit me until I was like 30. It's like, okay, well, you are now at a 2-drink maximum because you have 48-hour hangovers. You can no longer stay out till 2 a.m. because it's like an entire day of jet lag. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, I used to live in Las Vegas and, you know, like, wake up after sleeping for 3 hours, go to the Cosmopolitan for brunch, stroll into work all night, and then, you know, be like perfectly fine and do it all over the next day. And I'm like, now I'm like, oh man, it's 8:30. We got to start winding down. And I'm just, but I've been like really working on, you know, self-care, self-love, kind of, you know, adjusting, because it is kind of a bit of a confidence hit when you realize like, okay, well, like I need to change my lifestyle because I can't eat pizza 3 times a week anymore and still be a size 3. Like that's not going to happen for me anymore. Yeah. But I am so conscious about what I use and what I put in my body and on my body. And my eyelashes were always something that I never had to worry about. Mascara was my thing, but like I've really noticed that they're like thinning and they're not as full as they used to be and they're not as long as they used to be. And a friend of mine was like, and I'm such a hater on the extensions. It just creeps me out. First of all, so weird. It's just like gives me the heebie-jeebies. I've never had like another person's hair in my hair, like hair extensions, which that creeps me out too. I'm kind of like a germaphobe. And then like to have like glue on eyelashes, like that freaks me out. So when I was scrolling through your profile and I noticed that lash stuff, I was like, oh, I gotta ask them about that because my eyelashes, oh my God, they used to look fake. And all I would do is put on like a layer or 2 of mascara. But now they've like gotten shorter. I'm putting on mascara, but it's not as like voluminous and full as it used to be. And I'm like, what the heck is happening?
Coat after coat after coat after coat after coat. Like my hand gets tired because I was trying to make them like long and thick and I just like couldn't put enough mascara on. Ugh, I do not miss that.
I'm like, this is so the human body is just a fascinating whatever it is. But like you've used the word multiple times, everything is kind of like a journey. And like laying down, getting eyelash extensions is just not for me. I don't want to pay the money for it. I don't want somebody gluing something onto my eyes. Like that sounds dangerous to me. And my skin is so sensitive. I'm like, sure, I would be like the 5% of people who have like an allergic reaction and look like a meme for a month and a half.
And, you know, so we had a friend who just got them like a week ago and they're just kind of, I mean, sure, a lot of people love them and they work for a lot of people, but I don't know. They really looked like not good, like dramatic. Like, I don't know. I mean, I love her, but like, she was like, she actually hated them. And she goes, as soon as these fall out, I'm getting lash boost.
She's been like through every other option because she does not want to cave and buy lash boost, but now she's bored.
Yeah, because it is kind of expensive. It's like $139 for preferred customer for 1 tube of that serum. You put it on each eyelid every night. And after about 4 weeks, you start to see that they're definitely like longer. But after 8 weeks, you probably saw on my Instagram, like, holy crap. They are like, they look like you have false eyelashes on. and the tube lasts probably like up to 6 months, but average like 4 to 5 months. And so if you, so 140, I guess 150 with tax divided by 5 months, that's about $30 a month. So
that's
I think
not bad.
Are like,
it's definitely cheaper than the extensions, because those are like 80 to 100, I don't know, $20 for the initial installation, and then you have to go, like, they don't last forever. I think people go like once a month to get them filled,
like every 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, depending. I mean, I'm sure on, you know, the drama of your lash and
they fall out
if you're taking care of them or not. That was always my beef with extensions. I never wanted them because, like, when you have them, you're not supposed to use any oil-based like makeup removers, and you can't rub your eyes, and there's all these rules, and I'm just like, I can't handle it.
Oh, and if you sleep on your face,
oh yeah, that would be done.
Like, they would be done. Yeah, they'd be
It
awful.
would be real special.
You should see me when I wake up in the morning, because it is a disaster. My eyes are so puffy. I got this thing. It's like a little like a crystal roller that I keep in my freezer. And what I do is I'm going to have to try, because I'm using the Burt's Bees skincare right now for what is it, the rejuvenation or whatever, the hydration one. Anyway, it has like a little serum, and I put the little, like a little dot of the serum, a little drop onto the roller, and I like roll it on my face. And it's so funny because my son does my skincare routine with me. Like, I think there's probably 5 photos on my Instagram of me and him doing face masks together.
So cute.
But so he'll roll my face and I'll roll his face. But if I don't have that cold rolly thingy, it's like I don't even know. I look like a crazy meme that just was like hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of like getting a silk pillowcase?
No.
So silk pillowcases are good for your hair and for your skin.
Have you been looking for the right opportunity to finally leave behind your daunting 9-to-5 and live that laptop lifestyle you've been dreaming of? Maybe you have daydreams of living a life of financial freedom and time flexibility, and a picture in your head laying on a beach somewhere, completely stress-free. Though that would be nice and a total possibility, what I have for you is just a simple work-from-home opportunity. No, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme or another MLM. What I'm talking about here is bookkeeping. Yes, that's right, bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is how I am able to live my life without choosing between a career and my son. How we were financially unaffected by the pandemic shutdown, and how I am my own boss, living and working around a schedule that's best for my family, not someone else or office hours. Bookkeeping is one of the oldest administrative positions around, making this not only a common and respected career choice, but with today's technology and cloud-based programs, a position that is in demand and able to be done from anywhere. Bookkeeping is perfect for parents who want or need to work from home, military spouses, college students, retirees, and frequent travelers. Basically, anybody who wishes to leave the chains of the cubicle behind. For more information and to enroll today, visit edjconsultinggroup.com/resources.
They won't, like, I don't know. I mean, you can read about why they're better. I couldn't tell you, except that the fabric is just easier on everything. And I know all the beauty gurus say that you have to sleep with a silk pillowcase. I have one, but I don't sleep with it every night. So, and I'm alive, but I've heard that
And you're alive?
Yeah. My hair hasn't fallen out, so we're good still. But supposedly there are a lot of benefits. So you may consider that if you're getting those like lines on your face in the morning.
Yeah. And because those lines on your face, I know that it seems, harmless right now, but that is something that over time, like, they'll stop going away. I know.
Oh my God.
You can use things like that have glycerin in them to like plump kind of. But yeah, I mean, they will, like people that sleep on their right side of their face all of their life, like their right side will have noticeably more wrinkles than their left side. Mm-hmm. I know.
I didn't know that. My jaw's dropping over here.
Mine too. And it's
a back sleeper.
And it's not like I go to bed. Like when I go to bed and I fall asleep, I am a normal human being. But somehow throughout the night, I am just like a terrorist. I am a ninja. I must be battling, enemies. I don't know what is, and my son is the same way. And he still co-sleeps with me. Going on, 4 years now. So that's great. But
sounds like fun.
He is the same. And we got a quarantine puppy. We rescued our chocolate golden doodle on St. Patrick's Day. And she won't even sleep in the bed when it's him and I, because he does visit his dad every other weekend. So like, she'll sleep in the bed when he's gone, but she wants nothing to do with being in our bedroom when he's home because we both sleep like monsters. And I'm like, the other day I woke up in the middle of the night because he had fallen off of the bed, and I go over and I'm looking for him, and I'm like, where is he? Because he was like crying, and I'm like, it's like, I'm all groggy. And he had fallen off my side of the bed at the foot. And I'm like, how did you get over there? Like, what is happening?
I love it.
But yeah, like I go to bed and I like, have this intention of, being a normal human being. And I go to sleep and I'm like all cute with like my knee pillow, and I'm like a regular person. And then something in the middle of the night happens, and it's like, I have no idea, but I wake up and I'm like face down. Like, oh, it's a disaster. And yeah, I get all of those lines on my face, and it is like, luckily I'm single, so nobody has to be like, ooh, wow.
No one has to see you in the morning.
Right.
Have you noticed that we are rebranding over here at the Mommy Wines? We have a new logo, new segments coming soon, and, of course, new merchandise. What better way to support the show than rocking your very own Mommy Wines podcast merch? Our new logo is presented on slouchy sweatshirts, tees, and tanks. We have items for men. We have items for babies. We have toddler stuff. We even have puppy hoodies for all the dogs out there listening. So make sure to head over to the Mommy Wines Podcast merch store, available at Teespring and themommywines.com under the shop page. If you don't see anything you just can't live without, then you can always support the show by clicking the support button on anchor.fm/mommy-wines. Support and merch is always linked in the show notes below.
Have you ever accidentally turned your phone onto selfie mode in the morning and almost getting a glimpse of what that looks like, and it's scary?
It's never on a good angle, so all of the chins are in there, and because you're looking down,
it's
my eyelids are
my
hair. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's not good. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I've been considering, because I've used the different Burt's Bees ranges for so long, and I thought I'm always going to continue to use them for all kinds of other things because I love them. But I really thought that when they put a lot of focus in on creating the new lines for their skincare, I was like, okay, finally, I'm going to try this, collection. and it's gonna work for me, you know? And I like it, but I don't love it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a lot of people's, I think that is the general consensus.
The underlying, yes.
That is where most people that, you know, my new customers are always like, yeah, I mean, I'm using this. I like it, but I don't love it. That I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that.
Yeah.
And it's just, you shouldn't, then why are you buying it? You know, like that's my always thought is like, I don't want to spend money on stuff because if I spend $20 on items that don't really work, I'm going to be buying them more often. They're going to go be half used in my bathroom, and I'm going to end up throwing them away or they expire. You know, it's like getting stuff that actually works, is kind of worth it. You know, stuff that you do love, like you should love it. You pay for it. Part of what you love skincare, you know? So yeah, if anybody is listening, I don't know, and you're welcome to take our skin solution tool. It's in my Instagram profile. I think we sent you the link for that, but it gives like a customized skin recommendation, you know, like with step-by-step products and things to add on. And, yeah. And then of course the lash boost is just good for anybody. So
it seems like that's even the more affordable, easiest way to go, especially now. Like I'm sure a lot of like the salons and things were closed down due to COVID, and you know, if you can just take not even 5 minutes, 5 seconds to do a little swipe at night.
Yep,
it's pretty amazing.
And Callie didn't really tell her story with this, but she didn't get the lash boost right away. It took a couple months because she has been using like not
strip lashes, like adhesive lashes for literally years. And my lashes were like tiny nubs.
Oh.
And I just accepted that as my life, and that's just what it was going to be. And eventually I was going to be good to my lashes, but until I was done wearing these strip lashes, there's no sense in like, you know, doing anything in between because they're just basically being ruined. And so I got it and was like, okay, you know, I'm selling these products now, so I need to have the experience to be able to speak to that when I'm talking to, you know, potential clients. So I started using it, and I'll be damned, I haven't used strip lashes since. Like, I think, to be fair, I think maybe my results were like really good and really fast, but I have not found it necessary to use strip lashes. And the other day I put on like a full face of makeup, and I was like, well, let me just put on the mascara and see how it is. But I had full intention of putting on the lashes, and I just didn't need to.
Nice.
So like I am a true like naysayer all the way, and I am a convert now.
I have just never been the best at makeup, and it really creeps me out having stuff like around my eyes.
Oh yeah.
So there was a couple times I've worn strip lashes, but I had to have a friend put them on for me because
yes,
I just
in my
like
friend group.
I could not do it myself, and I tried, and like glue got everywhere. It ruined my eyeliner, but maybe you should put it on last. Who knows? And like it was just a hot mess. And I'm like, okay, I went through so many like makeup removing wipes because when I tried to do it myself, it like was so bad too. I had to like take my makeup off and redo it and try again.
Oh no.
That's the worst. Been there, girl. Been there.
But I can just like only imagine. I think the reason why the eyelash extensions are so popular over a product that is so much more affordable and easier is because people like instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know, especially when it comes to like skincare or, you know, like a fitness journey or changing your diet, it's all a journey. Like nothing happens overnight. but we live, it's 2020, the year of instant gratification, or that's just the way our minds are. We're so used to that nowadays.
As many of you may know, I have over a decade of financial industry experience, and financial wellness is such a passion of mine. Like many things in the world, finances tend to look a little bit different for women, even in today's generation. Webull has simplified the stock market and investing game with an easy-to-navigate zero-commission platform, free real-time quotes, multi-platform accessibility, and 24/7 online help along with extended trading hours. If you're looking to increase your financial portfolio, set up your retirement IRA, and start investing in yourself, click the link in the show notes below to receive 2 free stocks on me.
That's why it was really easy to start the lash boost during COVID, because I was already not wearing any makeup. So I didn't have to, there was no period of time where I had to go out in public without my strip lashes on, but with makeup on. I just straight up was not wearing any makeup. And so it was really easy to transition.
Oh my God. Speaking of going out in public, last night your night, Courtney, sounds way more fun than mine. I was at a smoky bar, because they still allow smoking in bars here in Nevada, playing pool league with a bunch of folks that I randomly met at this, like, it's kind of like one of those, it's like a hometown bar. It's very divey, but it's like, oh, that bar that's around the corner. And I met them out, and I decided, I'm like, I'm going to become a full grown up, and I'm going to join pool league, and it's going to be great. Well, that's what I was doing last night, and being in a smoky bar playing, like, smoke just like kind of grosses me out. And I feel like that's more of a contributor to my hangover today than the 6 Trulies I drank. But, last night it was like one of those nights where I'm like, I can't wait to go home and wash my face. And it was like the greatest thing ever.
Yes. And like, then you put on like the serum, and then you put on the final overnight cream that's just like kind of slightly more occlusive, and it like holds everything in, and it's, I don't know, I just like, oh, it's like
an
comforting.
addiction of sorts.
I know.
Yeah,
I love it
getting
so
some
much.
kind of fix. It's doing something to our brains.
Well, I loved this chat. Skincare is definitely one of my pleasures. So go ahead and share with everybody, because it looks like my thing is going weird, where they can find the two of you on social media and online.
Okay. So you can find me, Courtney, at Skincare Side Gig on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle. If you're listening and you want to do the solution quiz like we talked about, you can go to Courtnay, Courtnay, Jean, JEAN.myrnf.com. And you can go to the solutions tool, which is /solution-tool. And then Callie, if you want to share yours.
So my Instagram handle is Skincare Callie, and that's CALLIE. And then so my Rodan and Fields website is Skincare Callie at myrnf.com. So we both have the .myrnf, yeah. So it's the same. It's just similar.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of how it works. Like, we have our own personal website, and we don't keep anything in stock. So if anybody, or if you want to try anything, basically you just order it through the website and it ships directly to you. You create like a little account, and we're definitely happy if somebody listening mentions that they heard us on the Mommy Wines podcast. We will waive the $20 like sign up fee to become a preferred customer. And as a preferred customer, you get 10% off and free shipping.
Forever. all the time for the
Yeah.
rest of eternity.
Yeah, not for sure. You get it on
Right.
all of them. So, yeah, but we'd love to like get more followers on Instagram, and we love talking about skincare. So definitely follow us, and we're happy to answer any questions. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mommy Wines podcast. Make sure to leave a rating and review. To support the show you love, check out the exclusive branded merchandise on themommywines.com. For extra sassy, honest, and potentially controversial content, make sure to join me over on the Mommy Wines Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the other shows on the MW network. If you love scary stories and true crime, you'll love Tales After Dark. More shows are coming soon, so make sure to stay connected on social at Mommy Wines Podcast. And until next Wine Wednesday, mamas, parent and drink responsibly.